All right, so I was going to write this, but I'm just going to say it because I got to get on the road and drive through the desert and go to Hollywood to do some things. So, 2:46 in the morning, I am parked in my usual spot. I park directly facing the bus station downtown Vegas. So, bus station's cool because you just got to picture like all the showgirls and all the actors and all the blackjack dealers and gamblers and everyone who ever tried to make it rolling into the bus station downtown, wherever it is that I live, Las Vegas. So, anytime you park a car, at least where I live, you always want to have two paths of egress. So it's very, very important in security. If you're working with a client and you sit down at a restaurant, you need to keep an eye on the door. You need to know what's the quickest way out, and then you need a backup to the quickest way out. Does that make sense to you? Anytime I'm doing security, sometimes it's for people that they have issues with hoodlums. So I typically back my car into a parking spot so that you can go forward. I learned that one time when I had a guy, go to pull a gun on me out of his trunk, and I realized that I was parked face in. Makes it much more difficult to maneuver out. Second thing, especially in Vegas, is because I constantly worry about strong arm robbery and then also drunk people just in general. They just pour out of every casino, and then suddenly you have people doing stupid things. And I'm a writer, so I usually write in my car, and it's usually late at night, whatever. So last night, kid in front of me, call him a kid, but he's like 21 years old, nice Mercedes, packed full of other kids, right? You know how kids are. They have like 5 people jammed into a car for 4. I think in this case it was 6. So he's parked in the spot right in front of me, and I'm just sitting in my car writing, doing my usual brooding in the middle of the night thing. And a guy blocks him in. That's why you always want 2 paths of egress. So something happened earlier in the casino where this guy hunted him later in the parking lot. Again, it's 2:46 in the morning. You're facing the downtown Las Vegas bus station. Stuff happens. So kiddo got blocked in by the assailant, and this guy jumps out of the car and starts going after these people inside the Mercedes. So now 2 females exit the Mercedes, and they're hiding behind their car, which made me think that there might be a firearm involved because the girls were hiding behind their car in front of my hood. Now, my car is kind of on a whisper function, so people can't, because again, I have to worry about transients constantly and people possibly robbing me. I just had some homeless prostitute solicit me earlier, and all I'm doing is minding my own business. So my car doesn't make any noise, and I keep my lights off, and this chick is hiding in front of my car as if she doesn't know I'm in the vehicle. So now I have to make the decision during this guy's attack whether or not I'm going to exit my vehicle because suddenly I become a target. Or do you just sit in your car while the car becomes full of Swiss cheese as this guy starts shooting, right? A lot of violence happening right now in Vegas. It's just kind of a different time with COVID. Long story short, because I don't want to run out of video, guy starts yelling into the car from the outside. I got sentenced to 42 years in federal prison when I was 23 years old. He was making a comment about the kid being 23 or roughly thereof too, right? They're having an argument about age. Because I guess the way the argument started was the young people that were in the Mercedes accused the older man in the casino of doing something to these kids, meaning them. You can't be a kid in a casino. You have to be 21 and up, right? So the gentleman who blocks the Mercedes in and starts jumping into the vehicle, yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering about the fact that he just got out of prison after 42 years. You guys aren't kids. Don't say you're kids. You're grown. You're grown. That was the whole argument. So this guy is clearly going psycho. If he was in his mid-50s to early 60s, that would indicate that he is telling the truth about getting sentenced to 42 years at the age of 23. I'm doing the math in my head when I'm in my car thinking it's 80% sentencing for a federal sentence. This guy's yelling and screaming about how he just got out of the federal penitentiary. The math adds up. This guy's going crazy. So then the kids in the car videoing him as he's verbally attacking them. Then it gets physical. Now I see a struggle inside the vehicle, and this is what I see. That man who assaulted these kids, 21 and up, look, they're not kids, that was his whole point, goes head first into his vehicle, What do you think he's getting? Yes, a weapon. So now I'm pinned in my car thinking, don't even move. Don't let anybody know you're in your vehicle. And he pulls out, wouldn't you know it, a matte black shotgun that I think it had to have had the barrel sawed off because of the fact that the shotgun was able to fit in between the seats of his car. So he's like head first in the open window of his vehicle, grabbing a weapon, pulls it out. It looks like a pool cue, but it's like a short pool cue. I'm like, oh my God. Now he goes head first into their car with the shotgun. 2:46 in the morning in the bus station. And the whole thing went on for like at least 10 minutes in front of me, at the girls hiding in front of my car. But the one thing I can tell you, because I am about to run out of video, is this. Anytime in a fight, and I've been doing this shit for decades now, in terms of security and having to go to fisticuffs. And it's never fisticuffs, it's subdue and restrain for arrest. Anytime somebody's running their mouth like that, they are not inclined to go further. Does that make sense to you? Usually when there's exceptional violence that I witness, nothing is said, right? So I had confidence in the fact this guy's running his mouth about how he just got out of the joint after 42 years. Doesn't change the fact he's got a shotgun. So how did it end? There's a struggle inside the vehicle. The guy who's doing all the yelling and the talking, the older guy, kind of backs out, slides the thing back in between the seats, takes off through the freaking parking gate towards the bus station, end of story. And then those kids waited smartly a good 10 minutes, kind of stunned, because anytime someone's hot like that, God forbid you run into them on the highway, God forbid you pull up next to them at the street light, you know what I mean? They might have reconsidered chilling out. So that's my story, 2:46 a.m. this morning. What is that, October 17th? Vegas, baby. Why would you want to be anywhere else?